Trying to go live on Insta. It's not letting me. Okay, there it goes. What's up, y'all? Let me let TikTok join or whatever. What y'all doing? It's real late. It's Friday. And I just wanted to come live. Hold on, let me. So I'm on TikTok. What am I on? Oh, I'm on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. Dang, y'all got in here fast. What's up? What y'all doing? What page am I on? Okay, I'm on Road 750. Yeah, so we just gonna do a regular Q&A. Dang, y'all are getting in here fast today. I love it. I love it. How was y'all day? Actually, how was y'all week? Hey. Yeah, no. So there's no like specific topic. So you can ask any question. So I was at first I honestly I was gonna get on here and do just talk about just setting up your profile and just the importance of it and um certain things or simple things that many people kind of like miss as they're building credit that keeps them from having like what's considered a really strong credit profile, because it's typically like things the smallest things, like just like not having a short-term installment, just things like that. So I was going to do that, but we just going to do a regular Q&A because I'm gonna do the because I'm going to put together a entire webinar about just the importance of, like I said, setting up your credit profile, the things that everyone needs on their credit profile. I'm gonna do that, but I'm gonna make it like an official like webinar type of thing. I just got done filming. Hopefully I can get to 850 credit score by the summer. What you have now? Why you want to get to 850? I'm just asking. Only because I feel like a lot of people strive to get to 850, but it after you get past like 780, 750, 780, you have the same borrowing power. If your profile is set up, if it's a true, 780, then someone with an 850. How many days before your due date of your credit card do I pay my bill? How many days before your due date do I pay my credit card bill? So I as long as you pay it at least 2 days before, just because most banks will have like a processing time of like 1 to 2 business days. So you want to make sure that you get it in a post by your due date. But your statement date is more important, not more important, but like as like equally as important. So make sure you know your statement date as well. Once you pay a judgment, will that cause your score to increase? Will it be removed from your profile? So no. Once you pay a judgment, a collection, a charge off, paying a derogatory account doesn't remove it from your credit profile. It just the only thing that does is it has to be marked as paid or settled on your credit report. So it won't remove it. Now, if the creditor decides to give you what's called a pay to delete, then that will remove it off your profile. Or if you challenge it and they can't validate it or whatever the case, then that removes it off your profile. How to lower interest rate on a credit card. The only way to do it is if your bank agrees to do it, because they don't have to. So like the the interest rate on a credit card is variable. It changes. Literally it changes with the season. So um I every year I request from my credit card, my bank rather, to lower my interest rate. But you have to exemplify why they need to lower your interest rate. Like they're not going to lower it if you're getting late payments, if you don't have a strong relationship with them. Also, if you are carrying like heavy balances, I mean high balances, and large credit, large limits rather, not limits, right? Large balances past your due date and your statement date. I can't get out of the 500s. I'm paying my credit card on time with a low utilization. Let me tell you, if your credit score is in the 500s, that tells me one of three things. One, you've had a recent derogatory account, so a recent collection, charge off, late payment, or like public record, like a bankruptcy. It either tells me that you had one of those events happen within the last 24 months. Two, late payments, like you have multiple late payments on your credit profile. Three, you don't have any active credit cards, and if you do have active credit cards, your utilization is way too high. So if you're in the 500s, one of three of those is likely occurring. Let me know which one you most you closely resonate with, so that I can give you a solution for it. But 500s just means, like I said, recent derogatory events. Was what just happened? Was the LexisNexis webinar just for Credit Academy? We haven't done it yet. It's March 7th, I think. March 7th, yeah. How do you get one late payment off after trying the Goodwill letter? If the account is still open, your creditor, of course, does not have to remove it. So if it actually occurred and you were late, they are under no obligation to remove the late payment. You tried a Goodwill letter, it did not work. My advice would be to wait a few months and try it again. Make sure you have auto pay set up. Make sure I would recommend to put like a reoccurring charge on that credit card, because all of those things, well, those two things sort of kind of like put you in a better light, or like put you in favor from your bank. What do you suggest if you have late payments on an account you're attached to with an X? What type of account is it? Is it a credit card or a loan? Are you a co-signer, or are you like an authorized user? Because those are two different things. Do I need to pay a charge off that sent me a 1099-C? How do I get it off my report? So when you get a 1099-C, which is a cancellation of debt, number one, that does not remove your responsibility, or it doesn't like, you still are responsible for the charge off. That does not exempt you from having to pay the charge off. A lot of people have that false notion, like on social media. That does not. So if you look up or look more into what a 1099-C is, that just means that the company either wrote off your debt or gave you a settlement of more than, I want to say, what is it, $600. um and that just means that you have to pay taxes on that amount. So now they can't take the entire amount. However, that whatever they canceled, whatever part of the debt that they canceled, then no, you don't have to pay. So that typically means that you settle the account. That's usually when it comes. What do you suggest if you have a late payment on an account? You already answered that. I wrote a goodwill letter to the CEO and it worked for a late payment. Ooh, shout out to you. Yes, that's my favorite way. So, like, if you have an account that's open, you have a late payment on that account. The first thing that you probably should try to do is to write the CEO and ask for a goodwill adjustment. These goodwill adjustments only work if the account is open, though. Um, yeah, because a lot of y'all be trying to like write goodwill adjustments for charge offs and stuff like that. It does not work for charge offs. They can't go back and change the payment history on a charge off. It's just not gonna happen. So that's wasting your time if you do that. How long do debt collect? The TikTok question is going fast. How long do debt collectors have to provide proof of debt? Well, I I need a little more context, because are you referring to like a debt validation? Like you sent them a debt validation, you were it's before the collection hit your credit report. You sent it during what's called the dunning period, which is that time in between them notifying you that they have your collection and it being on your credit report, which is just a span of 30 days. So if you caught it before it got to your credit report, then they only have 30 days. If it's after your credit report and you sent the debt validation letter, technically they don't even have to reply. So that's another thing that's typically like advised wrong on social media. After a collection has hit your credit report, you sending the collection agency a debt validation, like, they literally don't have to answer outside of that dunning period. Now, that doesn't mean that you can't challenge the collection, right? Like, so you just challenge it in a different way. You don't request a debt validation. Instead, you challenge the reporting of the collection account, or you just challenge the account for errors, more so than just like requiring the company to provide proof of debt. So don't send a debt validation letter if it's already on your credit report. How long do Verizon sent a $127 bill to collection after 90 days? Yeah, they can do that. Verizon has an in-house collection agency anyway, so that it don't take them too long to send it anyway. They Should I get a personal loan for my credit card debt to boost my score? You can, but like, make sure. So what loan are you going to get? I guess. I'm asking only because like a lot of times people will get like personal loans with super high interest, and it's just like that's not really solving your issue, because these payday loans are, I don't know what type of loan you're getting, but like a lot of people will get like a payday loan, and payday loans, like, the interest rate is higher. But if you can get like a fair loan and the interest rate is not crazy, then that's not a bad idea. It's not a bad idea. I was a victim of identity theft and I keep getting inquiries. How can I resolve this? The credit bureaus are aware. Have you filed an identity theft report? Alex. So go to identitytheft.gov and file an identity theft report for all of the inquiries and then any accounts that they may have open. Also, lock your credit report so you don't have to worry about that. My lender says I need my lender says I need to have a payment amount shown for my student loans before I can close. Do I need to remove myself from the IDR program? Yes. So get on an income, that's an income driven repayment program that you're on, correct? If that is the case and your payment is zero, then call your servicer and ask if you can pay $10 a month or like $5 a month. Can I get a repo off my credit report that never contacted me after it was repossessed? It was 5 years ago and still nothing. So it depends, number one, on what state you're in. We just actually did a entire webinar on repossessions, and just like the proper process of them. I don't even feel like pulling it up. The proper process of them, the notices that are required, and like the states that they're required in. So I don't know what state you're in because some states don't require certain notices, but um yeah, I don't know what state you're in, so I don't even know where to begin. The late payments are a timeshare I can't get off of. Yeah, timeshares are not typically good with giving like goodwill adjustments. So I negotiate a lower payback amount. Should I have asked for a pay to delete? My score is 825. So a settlement and pay to delete, if you've already negotiated it, number one, they're not going to go back and negotiate a new deal. But after you're done paying it, because you're after you negotiate anything or after you even offer a payment agreement or a payment arrangement with a collection agency, you've legally entered into a contract with them, whether that's written or verbal. So the fact that you've already made agreements, that has to stand and that can hold in a court of law, right? Because they record every phone conversation or whatever, right? However, after you get done paying it, then I would ask if they would remove it, right? What company is it? Because they may automatically do it. Some companies will automatically do it. It never hit my credit and it's been over 30 days since I've sent the debt validation letter. So, okay, if it never hits your credit, you already sent the debt validation letter within the dunning period, which it sounds like you did, then the collection agency will either have to validate the debt within 30 days, or they can just cease collection. So if they choose to cease collection, they don't have to like notify you that they're ceasing collection. They just can't report to your credit report. You get what I'm saying? So the best way to kind of like figure out where it is in the process is to contact the original creditor and say, hey, who has, oh, shout out to Ricardo, who has current ownership of this account? Just so you know how to rectify the situation. If they tell you ABC Collections has this account, then that just means that the collection agency still has the account. If the collection agency chose to cease collection, they likely will send it back to the original creditor or they can sell it to another agency. But the original creditor always has to know like who has that debt. How many on-time payments offset one late payment? 11. So you'll need 11 on-time payments to offset one late payment. I sent off round 2 CO. They keep updating monthly, which I know they can do depending on results. Should I move to inaccuracies if not removed or SOL letter? Is it outside of the statute of limitations? If they keep report wait, the questions are a little confusing. So is it outside of the statute of limitations? Kayla? Oh, shoot. Trying to get a perfect A50 for ATL mansion. You don't need a perfect A50 for any mansion. That is a fallacy. And also, don't be so focused on your score because you can have a 800, 800 plus, 850 even. And if your credit profile is not set up right, then you don't really have the borrowing power of an 850. So I wouldn't focus if your score is already past 800 and you can't get approved for anything, like anything literally, then that just means that your profile is not set up correctly. That just means that maybe your profile, your credit score is possibly dependent on authorized user accounts or co-owned accounts, co-signer accounts, or co-owned accounts rather. So if you have above 850 and you not getting approved for whatever you want to get approved for now, because it don't take much honestly to get a home. Like you can have a 650, a 680 to close on a home, and get a car, get a credit card. However, the terms in which you get approved for, and also like your true borrowing power isn't based on your credit score. So if you already above 800 and you can't get that, then we got a problem. We got to look at your credit profile. I sent the verification letter. Haven't heard back. It's been 3 months. Who did you send it to? Dig, I think. Thank you, Alex. Thank you. Way outside. It's been 7 years. Now, it's been 7 years since what? Because if they're still updating it, then that means that the date of last, so the statute of limitations is based off the date of last activity, right? So if they're still updating their payment history, then that statute of limitations is extending. So is there still an outstanding balance? Number one, let's just first say that. And also, if it's been, the reporting time is 7 years, but it's 7 years from the date of first delinquency. So the month prior to it going into a charged off status, that is going to be the month and the year that marks the starting point. And then you count 7 years from there, and then that is how long that account can legally report on your credit report. The date of first delinquency cannot change. So just let me know a little more about that. Like, so it has it been 7 years since you opened the account, or 7 years since it's been a charge off? Because yeah, it does differ. uh what do you do if you received a 1099-C? So number one, you have to file it on your taxes, because you have to pay taxes on that. Number two, dang, yeah, dang, a lot of people asking about the 1099-C, or is that the same person? I just seen that like 3 times. You have to file it on your, I mean, yeah, you have to file it with the IRS, because you have to pay taxes on that. It likely was from like a charged off account that you have, or any cancellation of debt that you may have had. The only thing you can do is file it. Like, I mean, that's more so for taxes and not your credit report. And it doesn't mean that that account is going to be removed from your credit report. No. Closed paid off car loan, multiple late payments. Should I try to get it removed? Closed pay. How many late payments? So if you have, it's a car loan. So the average car loan is about what? For not 48 months, 72 months. The average car loan is about 72 months. So as long as you don't have more than one late payment for every year, for every 12 months that you've had that account, then I would not try to get it deleted, because it's still benefiting you more than it's hurting you. Now, if you get into the place where you have multiple late payments for every year of reporting time of that account, then that's when it starts to affect you negatively more than it is positively. How do you file a 1099-C? You have to file it on your taxes. Is there a website that has the contact information for the CEOs? Not like, so there's like no go-to, because number one, a lot of companies don't even, they don't make these things publicly available. There are obviously like some websites that you can go and try to find email addresses that people report. But I find them randomly, and also like more so with the community. That's really where I find most of them, because I'll have like a credit, not a credit, a credit cousin that works for this company and they know the CEO, or like it's more so like word of mouth. Do you have another account? Because I've seen like 3 accounts using your name. No, I don't. This is my only TikTok account. I only have one account on each social site. So no, I don't have. Those are scam. I mean, those are fake pages, and they're probably trying to scam you. I have a 2K, and also I would never like message anyone. I keep getting asked that, like, are you messaging me telling me to do this? No, I would never solicit business services or anything in DM. So yeah, that's definitely not me. I have a private loan with Discover, but I'm currently not working, so no income. Any advice? Talk to Discover for sure. Try to get a deferred, try to defer your loan. So if you are out of employment, or if you don't foresee yourself being able to make payments within the next 3 months, try to, not even within the next 3 months, call them, because that's the only thing you can do. You don't want them to close the account and charge it off. Anytime a company closes an account with a balance, that account is going to be a negative account regardless. The only time a closed account is positive is if it closes without a balance. So you want to try to avoid that. If they charge it off and possibly sell it to a collection agency, then you'll have 2 more negative events that's affecting you for just one account. What's the best CC to get with a 600 score? It's more than just like your score. So I need to know way more information, because just the score doesn't mean anything. Do you have any current credit cards? What was your last collection? Because the 600 could mean a lot of different things. The 600 could mean you are just new to building credit, right? And you maybe not have collection accounts. Or a 600 could mean that you have been building credit, but you still have existing like collections or derogatories or even late payments. So a 600 says a lot. I mean, could say a lot. What if you don't file a 1099-C? Well, you just owe the IRS. They're probably going to fine you. Not probably. They're going to fine you because the companies have to send it to the IRS anyway. Hit the like button. She be dropped. Shout out to who's that? The brown shirt. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, hit the like button. How do I remove a Verizon collection but it's reporting as a closed account? So did you get that from Credit Karma? Let me ask that first. And I'm only asking that because Credit Karma gets on my nerves with the reporting accounts is closed and trying to like pose as though that's like a good thing, or rather a collection is closed, open, child, halfway open, halfway closed. It doesn't matter. A collection is a collection, period. Like it does not matter what the account status is on the collection. A collection is by default a derogatory account. There is not a single way to make a collection account positive, even if you pay it. Like if a collection is on your credit report, that's negative, period, right? Whether it's open or closed. So, but Credit Karma like gets on my nerves with like updating collection accounts as closed, as if because it could be closed, it could close just because the collection agency is selling it to another agency. So like don't trip on like the status of a collection account. Experian is the best site to use. Yeah, that or my FICO. What is a good credit profile? I actually have that pulled up. Hold on. Well, I thought I had it pulled up. I know it's on here somewhere. Hold on. Oop. Hold on. Hold on. Here it go. Wait. It's on here somewhere. Hold on. Nope. Really? It's really not on here? No. That sucks. Really? That is so strange. Oh, right here. Okay, hold on. Let me put it back full screen. This is a good credit profile. I don't even know if y'all can see that. Can y'all see that? Screenshot that. Hold on. Maybe that's easier to screen. Oh no. That's not. Can y'all nah, it's better the other way. Can y'all see that? Is it backwards? I can read it. So the a good credit profile is 2 or more active credit cards, at least one short-term installment that's completed within the last 36 months. So if you're actively paying on a short-term installment, you're good. Don't close it early. That's not what that means. At least one long-term installment within 4 years. So student loans, a car loan, all of those are considered long-term installments. Short-term installments, by the way, are considered are accounts under 36 months. And then consistent reporting utilization under 10% of your total limit. Consistent, not just 1 month, consistent. Meaning by your per your statement date every single month on your credit card, you need to ensure that your balance is less than 10% of that limit. That is the only way to get great credit. I don't care what nobody says. Don't listen to anyone that tells you that 30% is good, that you need to aim to report a 30% utilization. That's insane. It's going to keep your credit score stagnant and you're literally never going to have a great credit profile. And then also primary trade lines on your credit report. Y'all stop allowing your credit profile or your credit score to be completely reliant on authorized user accounts. You're never going to get your true borrowing power. Trust me. Yeah. So just screenshot that. I don't know if it's backwards to y'all though. It may be backwards to y'all. Oh, that's what I was meaning to show. Somebody said about credit cards. So here are some options if you have bad credit and you can't get approved for traditional credit cards. These are called subprime cards. Y'all see this? I don't know if y'all can see it. Hold on. Why is this at the bottom? Hold on. I don't like that that's at the bottom because it's Wait, where was we at? I wish I could move this. Can I? Okay, so those are subprime cards. So if you have bad credit, if you can't get approved for Capital One, Discover, all of that, you just had a recent derogatory like collection charge off. Let's just say you recently filed bankruptcy, recently got a repossession, all of that. You just can't get approved for a credit card. Oh, it's backwards. I don't know what to do about that. I mean, I don't know how to switch it. So just screenshot it and then like flip the image, I guess. Flip the image in your phone. Because I'm not sure how to do that. Um, is it backwards to y'all too on YouTube? How do I wish I could turn it backwards? I don't know how to do it. Just screenshot it and then flip it, but I'll read them off. So subprime card, yeah, I'm on YouTube as well, but I believe it's still backwards on YouTube. Oh, on YouTube they said it's fine. They said go to YouTube, it shows clear. Y'all can see that? It looks clear from here. Um, so subprime cards, like I said, if you cannot get approved for any other credit card, start with a subprime card. Don't like there's nothing wrong with starting with a subprime card. I myself started with a subprime card years ago. You want to be like you want to have revolving credit on your credit. I mean, you want to have a revolving account on your credit profile. Two, at least two, because 30% of your credit profile and your credit score is reliant on you having a revolving account. So don't just waste time in try to wait until you get approved for like a Capital One card or Discover card in order to get a credit card. That makes literally no sense. It don't make sense. So don't because it's literally just wasting time. Hold on. We're having trouble streaming to Instagram. If you is it still am I still live on Instagram? Oh no, I don't think I'm live on Instagram anymore. Let me see y'all. Hold on. I can't stand Insta. Dang. Let me see if I can. Let me see if I can go back live. Insta always got to be the one. Hold on, y'all. My bad. I did not know it ended on Insta. I don't even think it's gone. Let's see if it'll. Dang. Let's see if it'll let me do it again. Okay. Hold on, y'all. Oh, okay. Back like we never left. Let me see if it's gonna go live on Insta. Instagram is annoying because I don't know why it just cut me off. So, anyways, back to what I was saying. These are subprime cards. So if you have bad credit, if your scores are too low to qualify for a traditional credit card, Capital One deny you, Discover deny. Let me tell you the way that you need to know if you need a subprime card. If Capital One denies you for their secure card, you need to be on this list. That just means that your credit profile, whatever is going on there, it does not qualify for a traditional starter card, period. Like, period, right? Get one of these. Don't continue to waste time and allow months to pass and you're not building credit. It doesn't make sense. If you're actively repairing your credit, like you're challenging collections and trying to fix your credit, that is still not a good enough reason why you should not have a credit card, because this is what's going to like help your score grow. Deleting collections, deleting charge-offs, contrary to popular belief, that's not what causes you to have great credit. The absence of derogatory accounts is not synonymous with good credit. The only thing that allows you and makes you have actually good credit is you building credit. So you have to build credit. You must be building credit if you are serious about your credit profile, if you want your credit score to increase, if you actually want to see a difference in your borrowing power, you have to build credit. Okay. So get two of these. If you can't get two, get one. Most of these are secure cards, so that means that you have to secure the card with your own money. You have to place um between 100 or like $99 to $200. Don't put more than $200 on a secure card. Even though you can, of course, you can put, like, you can put as high of a limit as you want. It makes no sense to put more than $200 on a secure card. Instead of putting like $500 on one secure card, get two secure cards for $200. No point in having over $200 on a secure card. It really is not. It doesn't, like, you're wasting your time. Have that secure card. Obviously, be responsible with it. Make sure that you are reporting less than 10%. Honestly, you on a $200 card, if you want to be taken serious by lenders, you shouldn't even be carrying a balance, because how will you ever expect for a company or a bank to trust you with a 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 plus $1,000 trade line if they see you can't even properly manage a $200 trade line, right? So make sure, understand that just because you can do something don't mean that you should. Not if you're building credit. If you qualify for any of these cards, um, these cards are what I call probation. I was on probation too, so this is not like a diss, but it's just the honest truth. These cards are probation, and you should treat them like probation. Meaning, don't be thinking you could spend these cards like this card should only be used for gas or like necessities. And don't spend nothing on these cards that you cannot pay back within the same month. Oh, Instagram cut off again? See, Instagram finna blow me because like they just gonna have to go, they gonna have to be off. Did Instagram cut off again? Okay. I don't know if it did, but let's see. Let me see. Instagram, you're annoying. Oh, I'm still live. I'm good. Okay. My bad. I was gonna go off on Instagram. All right. So back to what we was saying. So yeah, these are subprime cards. I don't know how to flip it, y'all. I don't. I'll try to learn after, but I ain't gonna be able to do it in real time. So these are subprime cards. Okay, cool. If you, and like I said, these are reserved for. So what you can expect with subprime cards is high interest, secured line. So you're going to have to secure your trade line. Dead end cards. So these are not going to be the cards that you get to grow to $10,000 to $5,000. That's just not what they're for. Hold on, let me scoot it. Oh shoot, where I'm at. Yeah, so subprime cards are not going to be the cards that you get and you expect credit limit increases. That's not what they're for. They're only there to help you establish credit. That's all you need out of that card. You need a card that reports to all three credit bureaus, and that's it. That's all that you need from these cards. So have these cards. They typically will come with like an annual fee. After like a year or two, you could close them if you want to. So like these are not cards that you keep forever. These are just cards that, or you could if you want, but I'm saying you don't have to. These are just cards that's going to get you qualified to the next level of credit cards, right? Then after that, starter cards. Starter cards are typically like student cards or just any cards for people who have an established credit, people who have like a fair credit profile. Like maybe you don't have any credit, maybe you've never built credit, but you've also never messed up your credit. Then a starter card would be perfect for you. Fresh out of college, fresh going into college, out of high school, whatever. Starter cards are perfect. These are my favorite starter cards. Oh, y'all said read the list for subprime. Y'all, can y'all just screenshot it and flip the image? Because I just feel like just reading the list is just not on my I don't have the patience to read the list tonight. Child, just screenshot it and then flip the image, because I don't even want to like stop, and that's pointless. All right, cool. Oh, all right. Starter cards. Starter cards are low limits. So what you can expect from a starter card is low limits. Typically they don't surpass like maybe $1,500. Some will. You don't have to have an established credit profile to get approved for a starter card. You typically just have to not have too many recent derogatory accounts or like late payments, or like these are for like it's starters, right? So student cards, and some of these cards are secure, but not all. Some of these cards will have an annual fee, but not all. So like I said, these cards are like low limits. I still have my starter card. Like you can keep your starter card forever. Capital One Platinum is like one of the most popular starter cards. Discover It has a ton of cards, but like they have a secure version, they have a student version, they have the Capital One Quicksilvers, the Chase Freedom Student, the self-secure card. So any credit builder card or Chime, those are all starter cards. Again, sort of like the subprime cards, these cards are not there to grow to 50,000 plus dollars. It's just never going to happen. You probably ain't even gonna get a credit limit increase on most of these cards, and that's also cool. Like you don't like that's not really what you expect out of these cards. They're there to help you continue to build credit, establish credit, and also potentially be the starting point of the anchor of your credit profile. Because, like I said, you could keep a credit card forever. You could keep a credit card for life. Move it up. You could keep a credit card for life. I'm trying to show both screens, so it's a little difficult to. Yeah, so you can keep a credit card for life. Most of these, like I said, they don't have an annual fee, but some does. These are the perfect cards to keep forever, and even if they never increase, they still are doing your credit profile justice, like a lot of justice. Um, so what you can expect from starter cards: secure cards, low limit, mildly growth, like mild growth, meaning no, you probably are never going to get one of those cards to equate to 10,000 plus dollars, or whatever. Those cards are low limits, so don't expect to get a credit limit increase like you would in an Amex card or something like that. Those are starter cards, so they're there to help you establish credit. um then the next tier, which is my favorite, mid-tier cards. The backwards makes me dizzy. Okay, so should I not show the screen? I don't know what y'all want me to do. Like, screenshot it and flip it on your phone. I don't know how to. Child, forget the screen. Forget the screen at this point. um, yeah. So mid-tier cards are my favorite cards. Those are going to be those are like the everyday cards. No, I don't know how do I flip a screen? Yeah, it's too late. It's 11 o'clock. It's not flipped on IG. They said, go to IG. Yeah, because they keep saying I moved it because people keep saying they head hurt. I'm like, huh? But I mean, okay, move it back. Where was we at? Y'all. So if it's backwards, they said it's not backwards on Instagram. So y'all can go to Instagram, um, or YouTube, Shonda Martin, Road to 750 plus. Also, but at worst case scenario, like I said, just screenshot it. Just like listen to what I'm saying about them, screenshot it, and then just flip the image in your phone. Cause I don't know how to do, like, make it to where it's mirrored to you guys. I'm not sure how to do that. Um, and this wasn't planned, so I kind of just like brought it up. So maybe like next time I'll try to like flip it before I come live. But this wasn't like a planned thing. So no, I don't want to mirror it because it's not flipped on IG and Instagram. Just flip it in your phone, please. Can we agree to just flip it in your phone? Because really the that don't matter right now. More so just like kind of listen to what I'm saying, and then you can always go back and reference that. My score went up again. Period. Shout out Kima. Uh, what did you do? Was it the utilization? Okay. So mid-tier cards, like I said, these are my favorite cards. These are going to be your everyday cards. These mid-tier cards are like the most popular cards. Most of them don't have an annual fee, or if it does, it has like a low annual, lower than a top tier card. I'll say that. These cards are the introduction to like rewards, cash back. You typically will gain the most points from these cards. Like, for example, like the credit cards that I use most are on this list. I don't care how high my credit score gets, how much borrowing power I have. I'm going to keep a few mid-tier cards because these are tailored to your everyday spending. So grocery stores, just shopping in general, online shopping, like retail card or not retail cards, things that we do every day, gas and all of that, right? So these are my favorite mid-tier cards. And this list is not exhaustive. So it's like there's obviously thousands of credit cards out there. These are my personal favorite. So Chase Freedom Flex. Now that I look at these cards, I either have or have had every single one of these cards personally. But yeah, so these cards, mid-tier cards, they do have a great growability rate, right? Like, so these cards can get up to like $40,000, $50,000 plus. These cards will have an annual, most will have an annual fee. Well, no, let me rephrase that. If they have an annual fee, it's low. So like they're typically like $100, maybe at the most 250. And then a few of them don't. These cards have like I said, they're tailored to everyday spending. So your grocery shopping, your gas, your Uber, your DoorDash, blah blah blah, etc., etc., etc. These cards typically require at least a year or two of established credit history for the most part, because I know it's gonna be comments like, "Oh, I gotta prove da da." On average, you do have to have an established profile of at least 12 months for these cards. If you maybe piggybacked off a parent or something like that, then you possibly could get these cards first, and then there are other, you know, exceptions to the rule. But I'm saying on average, you do have to have at least a year prior to getting approved for these cards, and also not even just have to. Another thing is sometimes, like, if you do get approved for these cards and you don't have an established credit profile, then you're just getting approved for extremely low limit of these cards, right? By the time you get to mid-tier cards, you want your limit at least $5,000 or above, because all of every card on this list, and some of them don't have a set credit limit, but it has a spending power, so it's the same thing. So if you get these cards, you want it 5,000 or above, right? That lets you know that you are in the correct tier, and also like your credit profile is truly qualifying you for these cards. Before you apply for these cards, I will personally recommend that you have at least a year of history with another credit card. uh Also, any recent you don't have you Miss Tay Will, have you email customer service, the Credit Academy customer service? You don't have any shoot, I didn't lost my train of thought. What was I gonna say? Oh, you don't have any recent collections within the last 24 months. You don't have any new late payments within the last 24 months. At the time of the application, like at the time that you apply for these cards, I would recommend having a under 10% utilization. I know it's backwards. Let me quit. Let me just ignore that. Under 10% utilization uh overall on your existing cards, right? Another tip is all of your subprime cards or starter cards, don't close them until you at least get two of these, right? So like the cards that are on this list, subprime or even starter, you really shouldn't even close a starter card, but because most of these, like I said, don't have annual fees. But for the people who start with a subprime card, because they do have annual fees and they don't really grow, and they're not good cards, they're just there to help you. Don't close them until you get at least, dang, can you go? Is that repeating it or I'm tripping? Oh, until you have at least two mid-tier cards. And then you could close the subprime cards, but not before, not before. Yeah, so these are my favorite cards. Literally, these are better than the top tier cards. And then the only thing that you go, well, not only, but the next level after that is my favorite top tier card. So there are more top tier cards, but these are my personal fave. Amex Platinum, everyone knows about that one. But another one that is pretty much identical and equal to the Amex Platinum is the Chase Sapphire Reserve, which is essentially like Chase's version of the American Express Platinum card. Now, one thing about top tier cards, obviously, yeah, you should have a high limit. If you got approved for any of these cards, you should have a high limit, or the Platinum doesn't have a limit, but it does have a spending power. You need to make sure that, number one, you know what the card is for. So don't apply for these cards if you're not going to spend it in the way that it was intended. Like, for example, one card that I'm so used to seeing people misuse is the American Express Platinum card. I cannot tell you how often I see videos about like the American Express Platinum card and people like, I got approved for the Platinum, I got approved for the Platinum, when they ain't even using it how it's meant to be used, and all they're doing is paying an overpriced annual fee. The annual fee for the Platinum card is what, like $500 now? Maybe 600. I don't even know. I have the How much is it? Child, I don't even know how much it is anymore. It's like $600. I have it, but the only reason, or the only way that I recommend anyone applying for any of these cards is if you, number one, like I said, know what it's for and intend to utilize it for what it's for. Or if you're not, understand that the annual fee that you're paying isn't going to be worth it. You're literally going to be paying to just have the card. See, I'm grandfathered in at 550. Okay, so it's 650 now. See, that's what I'm saying, child. if you get in the Amex Platinum card, you need to be a frequent traveler. There is no other scenario in which I would recommend anyone to get a Amex Platinum card. And a frequent traveler, meaning like multiple times a year, not just like one trip a year, because the Platinum card is nothing but an overpriced, glorified version of the Amex Gold card. If you want to travel for free, you can do you'll gain more points with the Amex Gold than the Platinum anyway. Also, if you have the American Express Platinum card without the American Express Gold card, another misuse, right? You should not have a platinum without the gold, because the platinum is not getting you any points. Like, well, it's getting you points when you book travel, but like, how often are you booking plane tickets? For most people, not often. And even if you are booking plane tickets often, you still should have the gold, because all of your food, your grocery shopping, DoorDash, Uber, um US supermarkets, restaurants, all of those are 4x on the Amex Gold card. And if you're an American Express customer, all of your points goes into one bank. So you can have 5 cards with American Express and they're all going into your membership reward points. And yeah, the platinum is just not worth it without the gold. Platinum is not, King, get off and go to bed. The platinum is not worth it without the gold. So these are my favorite top tier cards. And I really don't know why I put the Venture X up there. I think I was just trying to be nice to Capital One, but yeah. Because I'm gonna be honest, the Venture X really low key should just go on mid tier. It really should just go on mid tier. But I guess I was just trying to be nice, because there is Capital One's like top tier card. But child, if my credit, if oh wait, before I answer that, how do you qualify for this card? So yes, you do have to have an established credit profile prior to getting these cards, or you should. There's no way you should apply for any of these cards if you don't have at least 36 plus months of history with another credit card. Also, don't apply if you have a high utilization reporting on your existing cards. Don't apply for these cards if you've had a recent collection or charge off within the last 24 months, or a late payment on any of your credit profile within the last 24 to 36 months. Don't apply for these. Like, I'm gonna be honest, y'all, you really could go your whole life without applying for any of these cards. Like, if I had to choose tomorrow to pick 2 or 3 cards to keep forever, none of them would be these. Like, I wouldn't choose any card on this list to keep over the mid-tier cards. Like, if I just had to choose between the two, because the top tier cards, you're looking at $300 to $700 in annual fees. So, like I said, just make sure that you are aware of where the reward, because here's the thing, like, you're going to pay an annual fee with a credit card on the cards that gives you the most benefits, because that's just how the company offsets their price, their cost, right? The platinum gives you so much, but only if you utilize it correctly. So if you're not utilizing it correctly, you're just paying $700 or $650 to stun on the ground. Because let me tell you, I was just at the store yesterday. I cringe when I see people pulling out the platinum card at like restaurants. Cringe. That card shouldn't even leave your wallet if you're not booking a flight ever. Like, there is no benefit to you, because that's actually a missed opportunity. I see, if you ever have pulled out your platinum card at a restaurant, I'm dying inside, because the amount of points that you're leaving on the table. Do you realize that if you are using your platinum card for, like, let's just say shopping or a restaurant, you're getting 1 point per dollar spent. 1 point per dollar, when you can literally have the Amex Gold card with Amex Gold. How much is the annual fee on the Amex Gold? Ain't it like 250? Last time I checked, it was like 250. Maybe they go up 250, right? I want to say it's like 200 or 250. I'm not sure. Yeah. Oh, it's 150. When? No, I don't think it's 150. It's 250. Okay. I was gonna say, when I need to be making some calls if it's 250. They just increased it to 295. They did just increase the platinum, so I can believe it. But the point is, it's way cheaper. It's literally less than half the price of a platinum card. Yeah, so the platinum does come with benefits, like you get access to the the priority pass, which is just 99% of airport lounges, right? But let me tell you, like, that's an overhyped benefit. I don't care what nobody say. Like, that really is an overhyped benefit. Do you know, the I travel very often. it's very rare that I actually am visiting a lounge. I don't know about y'all. I don't just hang out at airports. So like if I most of my flights are like nonstop, right? But if I do have a layover, it is usually like 40 minutes or something. And child, I land in terminal A or terminal A, and then like the lounge is in D. I'm if I have less than 2 hours layover, I am not going to a different terminal for the lounge. It's if you are just wanting to get into the lounge, and it's not worth it because you really can just pay. You could pay what is it like $50 if you want to just, or maybe it's like I don't know the one off price, but it's not that high. Yeah, if you don't travel and if you don't really care for that, because I can't remember the last time I didn't went in the lounge because I don't spend that much time at the airport. Like it's just like I'm in and out, in and out. So that was kind of I feel like when I first got it, it was like exciting to get in the lounge, but now it's just like that. It's more it's more of a freaking headache to try to find it and go to these freaking airports are so big. I don't travel, then get the gold. The gold is good for anyone. Like if you eat food, if you go grocery shopping, the gold is good for you. My favorite gas card is the City Premier. I think I had it on this. I didn't. OM Jizzle. Well, the City Premier is my favorite gas card, and should definitely be on this list. But this PowerPoint is like a few months old. Does closing one account really affect your credit score? Yeah. So anytime you close an account, anytime you get an account deleted, you are losing credit age. And so it depends on if the depending on how old that account is, that will depend on like how much you'll lose from closing the account. Um, I travel a lot internationally with the best option. So if you travel a lot, then yes, then the platinum is worth it. It pays for itself. It pays for itself because number one, they give you. I'm gonna probably get this. It's either 100. It's 100. They give you. Is it 100 or 150? I believe it's 100. $100 credit on Uber, and also $100 credit. Is it 150? Okay, whatever. They give you 100 or 150. I can't remember the exact amount on Uber. Also on I'm losing my train of thought on Uber and what else, y'all? I don't have it pulled up. Oops. Can you liquidate the Amex Gold card? What you mean? Why you want to do that? Are you saying like downgrade it? Yeah, you can downgrade the Amex Gold card. Oh, what was your question? My bad. My bad. I don't know what come after this. Oh, I already did these. And then the only thing outside of the top tier is just like the invitation only cards. Um, and as the title says, you have to be invited to even apply for these cards. So like the most popular one, hold on, let me scoot it back. The most popular one is the Centurion card, which is aka like the black card. But I actually like the JP Morgan Reserve card better than the Centurion card. The annual fee on the Centurion card is $10,000. I don't. I'm gonna be honest. I don't think it's worth it because I looked at the benefits the other day because they keep taking the best benefits from the card. So to me, it's just not justified anymore. I barely want the platinum card anymore, but I'm gonna keep it or whatever. Live visibility restricted for 10 minutes. I am so confused. Like, why somebody reported the live for inappropriate? That's odd. What? What's inappropriate? Um. Oh, I didn't see your question. My bad. I know it's backwards. It's because I don't know how to mirror the screen. So just screenshot it and flip your image. I don't know. I have been building my credit as I'm trying to dispute collections and have a secure card. But should I apply for another credit card or finish disputing my collections? So those are two different things. You can do both. You can do both. You can do both at the same time. If you already have, oh, another thing, if you already have, so with subprime and starter cards, the limit is two. So never get more than two subprime cards or two starter cards. There's no point in getting three subprime cards or even three starter cards. Like if you are on your third credit card and you are not approved for at least a mid-tier card, then there is still something wrong with your credit profile. You have to like you have to fix the issue because you're never going to be able to move up. So if you have two already, that's all you need. Don't put any more money into a starter card or a subprime card outside of the first two. Wait, back to yours. Yeah, so here's the let me go back to the profile. That's what I meant to do. Let me go back to the profile. Where was the profile at? Right here. Here's the gold credit profile that everyone should have. Ooh, y'all probably can't see that because that is small. I'll read it off. So have at least two or more active credit cards active in your name, primary, meaning your name. You got to prove for them, not a. If your AU credit card accounts don't count, you need to have two, at least two of your own. And it doesn't matter the limit, doesn't matter the bank or whatever. It doesn't matter. They just should be reporting to all three credit bureaus. And then have at least one short-term installment, either active or completed within the last 36 months. Do not end any short-term installments early. So if you have like my favorite short-term installments are self. Let me see if I have it on here. Let me see if I have it on her. I guess not. I thought I had it on her, so I wouldn't have to name the list. Wait, no. That sucks. Okay. Well, a short-term installment is any loan under 36 months. Let me go back to the. Excuse me. Oh, I thought I had it on her. Oh, here go a good one. Yeah, this presentation is old, but I just happened to bring it up today. Let me see. Oh, that's too little. It's killing me because I can't talk. Okay. Let me see. So it's white. I wish I would have fixed that. Okay. So if you cannot get a credit limit increase, see, it's hard for me to. Okay, look, let me talk real quick. So if you can't get a credit limit increase, or yeah, if you can't get a credit limit increase, there is a such thing of not utilizing your credit card enough. So like the number one reason why people are denied for a credit limit increase is because they don't use their card enough. So a bank is not going to extend you more money or more capital if you are not utilizing what you already have, right? So here is sort of like a just a recommended ideal transaction rate for each like each limit. So if you have a credit card between 100 and this is if you want to get a credit limit increase, you don't have like chat I ain't because somebody gonna be coming like, oh, this is if you want to put yourself in a best case scenario to get a credit limit increase. So if your credit card is between $100 and $500, you want to report at least 6 transactions a month. These does not have to be large transactions. It literally can be chips. It can be whatever. It can be gum. There has been times where if I knew that I was applying for a credit limit increase 3 months prior, because whenever you request a credit limit increase, the bank will typically place into the most importance your last 90 days. So your last 3 billing cycles, especially with like top tier companies, mid tier and top tier companies, right? So they're going to look at most what you have been doing, your history with them within the last 3 months. So what you're going to want to make sure is in most credit cards, you can apply for a credit limit increase every 90 days. That's personally what I do. That's how I have so much capital extended to me, right? Not all companies. So if you have between $1 and $500, at least 6 transactions a month within the same billing cycle. If you have between $500 and $1,500 credit limit, then you want to report at least 10 transactions a month. Between $1,500 and $5,000, then you want to report at least 13 transactions in a single billing cycle for 3 months. So like 90 days, right? And then if you have 5,000 to 10,000 plus or whatever, you want to report at least 15 transactions in a single billing cycle. And so I always say, plan if you know you want to grow a card, you should it should never be a impulse application. Like you should never impulsively apply for a credit limit increase without properly like knowing, unless you just naturally like spend these, right? Or do these things or hit these marks. Don't just impulsively or don't just impulsively, Lord, impulsively apply for a credit limit increase. You want to make sure that you have established the correct history and painted the correct picture and are in favor of your bank, because the relationship with your bank is outside of the credit bureau. So after you have already been approved for a card, your personal relationship with that bank is going to matter more than like your credit score, right? So regardless if you've increased your credit score since you've gotten a card or whatever the case may be, a bank is going to put in, or they're going to put more of an emphasis on your relationship with them because they have an established relationship with you, and obviously they you start to build habits and they get to know you as a borrower based on what you have been doing with them. Yes, the rest of your credit profile matters, and obviously you don't want to allow your credit score to plummet after you get approved for a card. However, understand that the relationship that you're building with each individual institution is equally as important than, as your credit report, right? So, and this is especially important for like mid-tier and top tier cars, meaning aka the cars that's going to grow to 50,000, 40,000, whatever limits. 30 or 90 days before you ask for a credit limit increase, I always recommend setting up auto pay for at least your minimum payment, minimum balance. Yeah, minimum payment. I mean, so it does not have to be, you don't have to say, a lot of people get scared when I say auto pay, but here's the thing. If you are constantly paying your credit card, like I typically recommend at least a payment a week or a payment every 2 weeks so that you're never faced with like an overwhelming high bill. So you can keep up with your credit card so that you you do have more of an opportunity to report a low credit utilization. I think a lot of people mess up when they try to just pay one payment a month. It gets overwhelming, especially if you're doing your daily spending on your credit card. It's like you ain't gonna want to pay a $4,000, $5,000 payment after you have just ran through that credit card for the month. So if you want to truly like gain access to a higher borrowing power, you have to understand that number one, you do have to use your credit card. But number two, you just got to be responsible. It should replace your debit card. So you shouldn't be spending on your debit card and also spending everything on your out of your bank account and then spending your entire credit limit. Like no, like you should absolutely replace your credit card with your bank account, meaning all of your small purchases you need to be spending on your credit card. But the money that is in your bank that you would have spent anyway, just go ahead and pay your credit card off. Because by the time your due date comes, you already would have met your minimum payment within that billing cycle. So if you have auto pay set up for at least a minimum payment, if you've already made payments, then you've already met your minimum payment because it has to be within that billing cycle. Another tip is to have at least two reoccurring charges. You can have one, but I recommend two on not on the mid-tier card that you want a credit limit increase. So, for example, what is the reoccurring charge? Your subscriptions. That's the perfect thing to put on your credit cards. A lot of us will have Apple Music, Hulu, Netflix, Lifetime, freaking Yabi, like Zeus. All of those subscriptions should be on your credit card because if you think about it, a subscription is an automatic payment anyway. It's just coming out of your bank account, right? You should absolutely be getting credited for that on your credit card because banks love to see recurring charges. They love to see subscriptions because that's usage, right? Like they love that. They love to see auto pay and they love to see recurring charges. So if we're talking about cultivating a great relationship with your bank and um placing yourself in favor of your lender, these are things that translate systematically to their application process. Automatic payment for at least the minimum payment, and also like I said, recurring charges, and making sure you hit your transaction. You can't see. Ooh, let me see. Here, screenshot it real quick and just flip it. I know people gonna say it's backwards. It's back. Okay, just screenshot it and then flip it in your phone. A closet tour, girl. My closet is real dirty. It's real messy right now because I got 3 suitcases that I need to unpack and I got laundry in here. So it ain't the time. It ain't the time. You said not to close credit builder accounts. No, I didn't say that. You can close them, but don't close them until after you have gotten, like don't close them unless you've replaced them with better credit cards. This is the Apollo Sign Smart Monitor from Amazon. So no, so it's not the LG, but it's basically like their version of it. I actually like this better because it has more ports, so I can plug like my camera into it. It has a longer battery life. It has the camera So I could have went live on this thing, but yeah. What's the best way to rebuild your credit? Um, I keep losing this one freaking slide. That's crazy. Right here. Okay, so if I would have planned this, I wish I would have planned this. I might come back live tomorrow and like flip the screens and stuff. What was I gonna say? So quick guide to building credit. So first of all, hold on. Everybody screenshot this and then I'm gonna talk because child, I already know y'all gonna be like, I can't see it. Just screenshot it and flip it in your phone. I'm gonna give y'all 10 seconds to screenshot it real quick. Comment like the video when you screenshotted it. So I know. Ice break. Mm-hmm. Um, what slides? Okay, let me see. Oh, it is back. Did I find that one? Okay, what was I gonna say? Okay, yeah. So screenshot this real quick and then screenshot the next screen. Then I'll talk. We'll talk about building credit. I ain't forget your question. No, I just wanted y'all to screen the ones the slides. Girl, I don't know what slides you talking about. I really don't. Oh, I am so slow. You said slides, and I'm thinking shoes because if you're in Credit Academy, you already have this. But I've posted this before. I'll maybe we'll make that our post tomorrow. All right, y'all got this too, and then I can talk. I mean, then I can go because I'm gonna block the screen. So screenshot this as well. Like the video when you screenshotted it. Girl, I love ice. Low iron. And not funny because child. Okay, hold on. Do it again. Oh, Instagram is cut off. No, it's not. Yeah, screenshot it and child. Screenshot it and flip it in your phone, please, please, please. Come on, y'all. Y'all don't got no problem solving skills. The way I would have just screenshot and automatically flipped it anyway. Boot camp and Credit Academy is two completely different things. Credit Academy is way more than Credit Boot Camp. Okay, wait. Yeah, look, y'all getting me distracted. Y'all know I'm one track minded. Y'all know I can't do and think about two things at once. I just can't. Okay, so quick guide to building credit. No, this wasn't playing, girl. I honestly just came on here and then I happened to see this and I was just like, you know what? Let me just pull it up. So it wasn't playing. Okay, and how I can read it backwards, by the way, because I'm looking in the mirror right now and I can read this backwards, but neither here nor there. Quick guide to building credit. Number one, open up a checking and savings account. Very important. Open up a checking and savings account. Why? After I burp, hold on. Why should you open up a checking and savings? Simply because when you are applying for a credit card, every credit card application will ask one very important question. That important question is, do you have a checking and savings? In some variation or another, they'll ask if you have a checking or saving. You want, in terms of like improving your or increasing your approval odds and also your borrowing power, you want to say that you have a checking and savings, right? However, pause. You don't want to just say it. You want it to be proven. And I'm for those of you who are not aware of what I'm about to say, banks can tell and lenders can tell if you do actually have a savings and a checkings account. There are certain reports, certain banking reports that will keep track of you and does keep track of your banking history. So they'll know if you have an active checking or savings. What's more important and what's also important is not just having a checking and savings account. Number one, you need to have a checking that is not overdrafted. So you can have $1 in there, but it just can't be in a negative. Because if you have a negative account, because they can't see the amount that's in your account. However, they can see if it's overdrafted. So make sure you don't, and they can see if it's zero. So at least $1 in a checkings account, right? And then here's a very important one that not a lot of people are not aware of. You do need to have a savings account, right? However, you need to have at least $10 in that savings account. Why? Simply because, again, they can't see how much you have in your savings account, but they can see if it's funded or unfunded. And what will automatically mark you as having a funded savings account is at least $10. Okay. So if you have a savings account, and obviously if you have more, then you don't have to worry about that. But if you do not have a savings account, or if you have a savings account and you just don't keep nothing in it, at the time of your application, you want to have a savings account with at least $10. So that to your lender, it shows this person has a checking that's funded, and also a savings that's funded, right? So a person with a funded savings account is a responsible, well, can be viewed as a responsible borrower. If a person has an unfunded savings account or overdrafted checking account, then you can obviously, you know what a lender would think of you. Okay, this person is a risk, right? So if you don't have a funded savings and checkings, you are automatically a higher risk than your counterparts, right? With a checking and savings. And then number two, apply for a starter credit card. So if you've never had a credit card, apply for a starter credit card. If you have bad credit, meaning like you've had recent derogatory accounts, apply for a subprime card. The fact is, everyone can get a credit card. Every single one. It doesn't matter where your credit profile is. I don't care if you're fresh out of bankruptcy last month. Everyone can get a credit card. If you haven't had any luck with getting approved for a credit card, then you are just applying for the wrong credit cards for your credit profile. Your credit profile has to qualify you for the profile or for the credit card that you're applying for. So if you can't get approved, we'll go over the list in just a second again. But yeah, there's a credit card for everyone. There, it's not true that, oh, I hear it every day. I can't get approved for a credit card. I can't, no one is approving me. No, no, no. The people that the companies that you're applying for and the credit cards that you're applying for, you just don't, your credit profile does not qualify for it. That's it. That's just it, right? So again, apply for a credit card. Number three, consider applying for a second credit card. I put it's optional, but if you are really serious about building credit and you want to build it in the most efficient way possible, having two credit cards is going to get you there. This is for everyone. Doesn't matter what's on your credit profile, especially if you have collections, charge-offs, late payments, if you have bad credit. If you have bad credit, hear me. The worst thing you could do is not build credit, but the best thing you could do is have two credit cards. Period. You need something to offset that negative credit history that you've cultivated. You never want your credit profile only inclusive of negative activity, negative credit history. You want to offset every negative entity or not entity entry on your credit report. And there is ways, right? So a part of repairing your credit and building your credit is offsetting any negative credit history. Period, right? So number, what were we on? Four? Oh, four, apply for a short-term installment. A short-term installment is any loan that's under 36 months that reports on your credit report. So personal loans, furniture loans are short-term installments. Self credit builder loans, pretty much every credit union and bank will offer some sort of or some variation of a credit builder loan. All you need is a loan that is under 36 months and it just needs to be over 250. That's it. It could be $300 for all anyone cares, right? Chime has one. Self, like I said, every bank, child, just look. So if you don't have a bank or whatever, just go to Self. Self will approve. I know the screen is backwards, y'all. I don't know why that question keeps catching my eye. Like, I kid you not, it's like it just catches my eye. Screenshot it and flip it on your phone. All right. Wait, where we at? Five. Maintain a five. The two credit cards that you have, maintain a consistent reporting utilization of 10% or less. If I need to go over utilization and how to ensure that you maintain it, please let me know. Please let me know, because I don't, maybe everybody already knows, so I don't want to waste like time. But if you don't know what a utilization is, if you don't know how to properly report that, let me know, because I will go through it. Six, after obtaining the first two credit cards, baby, this is important. After you obtain your first two credit cards, after you obtain your first two credit cards, you should not apply for anything for at least 6 to 9 months. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna change this because it really supposed to say 9 months. I can't change it right now. Can I? Really 9 months, y'all. I lied. I was being too generous. Oh, shoot. Okay. 9 months. 6 months is too short now. So six months used to be cool, but now in 2024, 9 months. Just act like they say 9 months. I can't correct it. This slideshow is old. 9 months. After you get your first two credit cards, whether they're starter, subprime, I don't care what they is. Don't apply for nothing else for 9 months. Stop trying to build credit too fast. Stop, because that only messes you up. That only bites you in the fill in the blank. That does nothing for you. Actually, a lot of people get caught in that trap, right? Like they'll try to apply for anything that they can get approved for, thinking that's synonymous with like building credit and like doing good and having a great credit profile. Nothing can be further from the truth. You never want to, number one, have more than two starter or subprime cards, like I said. And then number three, if you already have two credit cards, a third one is not going to do your credit profile any other justice that these first two are, right? Unless it's a better credit card. So if you are applying for, if you qualify for a subprime and a starter card, within 6 months, your credit profile is not going to qualify for a high, like a better credit card. You're still in the same borrowing power as you were when you apply for those. So your next credit card, you want it to be better. You never want to apply for more. You don't want to have too many low level accounts on your credit report. Like that's a mistake that a lot of people make. And also you do look desperate to lenders. Like some companies won't even approve you if you have too many newly opened accounts. They don't like, lenders don't like that. They don't want too many new debt obligations, because it's just like, okay, we want to make sure that they can handle what they already have, and then we'll see. You want to establish history, and it also affects your credit age. So anytime you open an account, anytime you close an account, anytime an account gets deleted from your credit report or removed from your credit report, you are messing up your credit, or not credit limit, your credit age. I don't know what your credit age, which is based on the average. And then number 7, which is oh, request a credit limit increase on eligible cards. So if you are eligible, request it after 90 days. But if you are on like starter cards or subprime cards, you likely won't be eligible. Can you go over the subprime cards? Wait, y'all want to go? Hold on. Shoot. Okay, hold on. Here go. I'm gonna do the credit card list real quick for those that just came in. Can y'all see that? So screenshot this. Do I need to make it bigger, or can y'all see it? I know it's backwards, y'all. Like just flip it again. But do I need to make it bigger, or y'all good? There it goes, bigger. So these are subprime cards. So if you have bad credit, you can't get approved for any traditional cards, just filed bankruptcy, you could get approved for one of these. Only max is 2. Don't ever get more than 2 cards on this list. Me neither. Me neither, Raven. Me neither. Does Sephora card count as a subprime? So retail card, it counts as more so like retail cards are pretty much like held in the same regard. Most retail cards is held in the same regard as like starter cards. So I wouldn't say subprime, but more so like starter. So like you ain't really gonna get high limits on retail cards. I actually hate every retail card that I own, except like the Lowe's card. But most retail cards, honestly, do without, because they're not really good cards. None of them. All right. So this is if you have bad credit and you can't get approved for like a traditional card. Why it keeps going back? And then this is starter credit card. So if you don't have bad credit, but you haven't established credit yet, or you have never had a credit card, then get 2 of these. These are starter cards. I was told I was 2 points away from 100% financing on buying a home. I started a self-funded kickoff. Is that okay? I was told if I was looking to make a big purchase, not to apply for anything. That's true, but not. It's also way more nuanced, because I don't know your time limit, but also you really should have just had one. Just stuck. You should have just opened one or the other. You didn't have to open 2. But okay, it's not the end of the world that you did. I'm hoping that you are going to what's your timeline? Because that does matter. All right, so these are starter, and then these are mid tier. So if you already have established credit history for at least a year to 2 years of an existing card, then these are my favorite cards. Can you please talk about how to increase credit when you're in the high sevens? We talking about building credit in general. So I'm not sure if you just came in here, but your credit score does not matter. If your credit profile is not right, your credit score don't matter. So regardless if you have 600, 700, if your bar like if you can't get approved for quality offers or high limits, then it's still back to the basics for everyone. By the way, like even myself, the same regard and the same recommendations that I make you guys, my credit profile, even at 800 plus, is still hitting all of these marks. Like I still make sure that I have a short term installment, at least one short term installment within 36 months, making sure that my utilization is under 10%. Like I'm still following the same rules as at 800 plus, because these are just standard rules that regardless of what your score is, you need to follow. If you have a 700 and you can't get past the 700, it's probably because of time. So time is also a big thing, especially as you go up and increase your credit score. The only thing that really changes is time, your credit age. My profile is good. I have 2 CCs, it's not moving. So what okay, what is your utilization? Because just having 2 CCs don't make your credit profile good. I love self. I love self. What do I do with a closed credit card with multiple lates and a balance? Uh you're gonna have to settle that. So any closed credit cards with a balance is best to settle because it absolutely affects all of your credit applications. I have a Chime credit builder and a credit premier. Do I stop there? Yep, stop there for and build establish credit with those for at least 9 months. Make sure that you are reporting a 10% utilization or under. Um, if you have negative accounts, this is the time to like challenge those and try to, rectify those. If you have any outstanding charged off accounts that are specifically like credit that were credit cards, try to get those settled. What else? Yeah, so this is the time to just allow time to pass because time is a thing. Don't build credit too fast. Trust me, you're gonna regret it. And you're gonna hate those like the cars that you like the subprime and the starter cars. You're literally going to hate those cars, especially when you start to get approved for better cards. You're just gonna see how pointless it was. And also when you close them, now you going backwards because now you got to lose credit age and don't do it. Just don't try to build credit too fast. Trust me. Are you doing another home buy webinar? I am. I don't have a date on the top of my head though, but we are. So do you advise to get two separate subprime cards outside of a retail card? No, if you already have a retail card, then just get one more. but in the same sentence, I never advise to like your credit history to be based on two retail cards. So you want to have at least one open bank card. An open bank card is a card with a Visa, MasterCard logo, Amex, a card that you can spend anywhere. So it's not just tied to one retailer. Can the two cards that you establish be with the same institution? Good question. I don't like that. I personally, so it could technically. However, I never recommend, and I don't care what your credit score is or how like I don't care how established your credit profile is. You should absolutely never have all of your open credit cards from one bank. Like never have your entire credit history or your entire revolving credit history to be based on just one institution. It's just better to show a variety. But also it just helps you because like if you have studies show, and this is not even just an opinion, studies show that people who only have accounts with one bank has less overall credit limits, higher interest rate. Like you literally are just you get less when you are with one institution because they're not having to repeat or not repeat. They're not having to compete against any other bank. Whenever so maybe well whenever you apply for a credit card, right? The first thing that the lender is going to do is see what credit cards you currently have. So if you, for example, are applying for I really be trying to use other examples other than Capital One, but they always come to mind. So if you have two or Discover, Let's say you already have a Discover card, then you apply for another Discover card. Okay, that's cool, right? However, if you don't have any other cards with any other companies, then Discover is only competing with themselves, meaning that they don't have to bring out the bells and the whistles in order to get you to continue the relationship or strengthen a relationship with them. They don't. You only got a $500 card with them, then guess what they're gonna give you? 1,000, and they're gonna think that that makes you happy because you don't really have nothing else, right? However, I guarantee you, if you were to go to, let's say, if you have your Discover accounts and then you apply for Capital One is going to at least try to meet what you already have with Discover or beat it, right? Every credit card provider or bank, especially as you get to the mid tier. So these don't really go for like subprime and starter because, like I said, those cards are just there to help you establish. They're not really there to like be your main card. When you get to top tier and mid tier cards, this is really important because every company and every bank wants to be your main card. That's their bread and butter. The more you spend on a credit card, the more money they make, right? So Amex is not going to want you to have a Chase card as your main card. So they're going to see your Chase card and absolutely try to like beat that offer. If you look at the main cards from American Express, from Chase, they're literally identical, right? Like, so just looking at this list, the Amex Gold card is essentially the same thing as the Chase Freedom Unlimited. The the city double cash and custom cash is essentially the same thing as the Amex BCP, right? Blue Cash Preferred. So they literally make the same cards because they are main competitors. Um and then and it literally, even in the top tier, the Chase Reserve card is basically Chase's American Express Platinum card. If you look at the benefits, they're the same. Like, so they are competing against one another. So I never recommend that you have all of your cards with one bank. Now it is cool to have more than, because I have more than one American Express card. I have more than one Chase card. However, they're not the only cards that I have. What's my favorite? My favorite card of everything? That's hard. Oh, I don't know if I could pick one, but maybe I know the Amex Gold is within my top three. The City would I put the City Premier in my top three? It'll be in my top five. No, the Platinum is definitely, the Platinum is probably not even in my top six. It's within my top 10, but it's not within my like top five for sure. Because I could do without the Platinum card. I don't have a venture. My favorite Capital One card. My favorite Capital One card is the Saver one. I think that's. Let me not make that blanket statement. I personally think that that's probably their best card. I'm not a big fan of the Venture series with Capital One. Oh, let me scoot it over. Discover card charge off. What to do? Discover is probably gonna sue you, so you might want to settle that. I would settle that if I was you. I would settle it. Invitation must be for the rich, not necessarily just for people who really know how to use credit cards. Not for the rich. Look, I always say credit is a game, right? Credit is a game. Like, a lot of the things don't make on face value, a lot of the things with credit don't make sense even to me. Even to me, it's still like, there's no way to justify some things with credit. However, credit is a game. You either learn how to play the game or you get played. You get played. Everybody will have a credit score. Whether you decide to do something with your credit score, whether you decide to build your credit score, you're gonna have a credit score, right? So you either can build your credit and make it work for you and work with you, or you can make it work against you because you have bad credit. You're gonna pay higher interest. You're not going to be able to borrow money. And some people elect to, like, follow the David Ramsey method, which is just no debt and da da da. What I will say is, if you're not rich, then good luck. Good luck with that. Like, if you're not it's easy for David Ramsey to say don't ever take out a loan because he never has to take out a loan. He's worth $100 million, so he can buy a mansion cash, right? He can buy everything that he wants cash. So it's easy for him to say don't take out any debt, right? However, for a majority of America, you're going to do better with other people's money, period. So in order to utilize that best, or whatever, make sure you're doing it at a responsible rate, but also at a good interest rate, so that you're not having to pay 25% APR on a car. Or my first car was 28 freaking percent. um My most recent card that I got a couple years ago, 1%. It was actually less than one, less than 1%. So that's just the difference of good credit and bad credit. I've been on both ends of the spectrum. So, and I'm sure, I mean, most people have. Most people, well, not most people haven't had bad credit. Some people, already sort of know how credit works and are taught that prior to starting to build credit, right? I wasn't. When I grew up, we never talked about credit. Actually, the only thing that I did hear about credit was don't get credit cards. That's all my people was telling me. Don't get credit cards. They're bad for you. Da da da. Well, for a long time, I did not get credit cards. However, what I know now is credit cards aren't bad. Like I was taught credit cards was bad growing up. Credit cards aren't bad. If you don't know how to use them, absolutely. Spending habits are bad. Or improper spending habits are bad. That's the only thing that's bad about credit. So learn how to use the credit card. Also learn how to build credit because, like I said, you're gonna have a score anyway. You're gonna have a credit score for life. It doesn't expire. It does not expire. So you may as well make it work for you. What's the best way to rebuild your credit? You have to replay the live because we literally just went over that. This live will be saved on YouTube and Instagram. Right. Move. Okay. You ain't have to say move though, but I'm gonna move. Um, hold on. Yeah, wait, because I was just talking, so I really wasn't seeing the questions, but I'm seeing them now. Hold on. Closet to a child is messy. This part ain't messy, but first of all, I got 3 unpacked suitcases. No, it's just not in the best case. Can you be approved for a mortgage loan with a 640 mortgage score with past late payments on your credit? Um, yeah, technically, yeah. I mean, depending, because I mean that's I hate I don't want to give just a blanket answer to such a nuanced question because there are so many variables. There are so many I don't know what's going on your credit profile, but and also like being approved for a home loan is not totally reliant on just like your score. So yes, it's possible if that was your question. Yes, like you don't have to have 100% payment history to be approved for a home. You also don't have to have a 700 credit score. I have a Wells Fargo Platinum CC, 20 years now, with a current $20,000 limit, utilization between 1 and 5. I want to add another CC, but when I ran my credit report, I found a derogatory mark. What is it? Do you have a collection? Charge off? What derogatory mark? And how old or how recent is the derogatory mark? What time is it? Oh, chill. TT getting sleepy. I need a 9K loan, Navy Federal or Capital. Is it a personal loan or like a car loan? So Navy Federal typically has better rates, but lately Capital One been having good rates. But I mean, yeah, Navy Federal is a safe bet because they are known for like their low interest. I have a credit card on a mid tier list, but it's not getting past 5,000. What are your suggestions? What card? Or and also how long you had it? Like what card? Which card rather? How long should I wait to apply for a Chase credit card? The CC was closed in 21, paid before it was charged off and not on my credit report. Do you have any other credit cards or that was your only credit card? If that was your only credit card, then I would hold off on applying for a Chase one until you have an active established one for at least a year. Okay, let me ask y'all a question. What is the card that you use most often? Like what's your everyday card? What's your card that's like your go-to, like the one that if you go to McDonald's, if you ordering on DoorDash, what is your main card? Oh, I ain't put Apple Card. I guess I didn't, huh? Apple Card would go on mid tier. this list, like I said, it's so many other credit cards, and also this list is like a year old. It hasn't much hasn't changed since, but there are a few cards that I can think of off the top of my head that I don't have on here. The City Premier, the Apple card is also a good mid tier card. It's a cool mid tier card, but it will go on the mid tier list. Discover It, the main card. Which one do I like? Apple card. It's a cool card. I do have it. It's a cool card. It's a cool card. I just I it's I'm trying to figure out the best way to explain it. Like an Apple card is really good for like it's a cool card. Like at 1 through 10, I would give the Apple card a 4, a strong 4, a strong three, and a real strong 3.5. Do you regret it? I absolutely could do without it. I wouldn't say I regret it. I could do without it. I can absolutely tomorrow if they might close them anyway because they just sold, but I could do without it. I could absolutely do without it. Is it 2 subs, 2 prime, 4 total? I think I'm slow because I feel like I know. Oh, 2 subprime cards, 2 subs, 2 prime. I don't know what you mean. Can you rephrase that? I want to make sure I'm answering the question because I don't know if you what you mean 2 subs and 2 prime. Rephrase that, child, because I'm slow tonight. I have a closed Capital One account with a balance. How do I handle it? Again, settle that because Capital One is going to sue, or they're gonna sell it to a debt buyer in which they're going to sue. So just settle it. Just settle it. Yeah, Credit Academy is still open. So if you need help with repairing your credit, customize dispute letters to properly dispute your credit, but also build your credit at the same time. You get free webinars, access to the library of personal letters that I've personally written. Our most recent webinar was repossessions, which was like last week, and then we're doing bankruptcy and third parties in like we doing one in 6 days actually. The bankruptcy live, so you get the webinars included in your membership. And it's $39.99 a month, no contract. Yeah, on my website. I am about to get off here because I'm sleepy. Yeah, I was supposed to eat my taco and now it's cold. Now I don't want it. What companies you have? Lord, this where I'm at. Hold on. Let me Instagram off again. Yeah, listen. Instagram just gonna have to go to YouTube, child, because I don't. It's the second time, and I ain't even gonna be on here too much longer. So there's no point in me starting a whole new live. It's showing. Hold on. Let me see. Because I think it's showing me that it's showing me that I'm still live. Hold on. I don't know. Yeah, I'm gonna save it on Instagram. But if you want to see the full live, you might just go to YouTube because Instagram cut off like midway through. No, I don't think you should waste your money buying trade lines. I do not. Yeah, I'm gonna save this live. Just you could replay the entire thing on YouTube. The screen is distracting you, is making your head hurt. Okay, yeah. Well, I ain't really got nothing else to show on it. So, what can I do if a collection company try to sue me? You have to go to court. You need to go to court. Number one. All they're gonna do is have you set up a payment arrangement, or you could try to contact the company before court to see if you can settle outside of court. So if you want to not to go to court, but the worst thing you can do is just not show up if you don't already have an established arrangement with them, because all they're gonna do is get a judgment, so they're gonna garnish you anyway. So just don't you don't want them to get a default judgment. Go so you can set up payment arrangement. Excuse me. And yeah, it's not you're not gonna go to jail for it. Or if you want to challenge it, you can. But if you probably don't want to do that. Oh no, if you're in Credit Academy, so if you go to your portal, you go to your portal, I have a lawsuit guide. Just download that. I didn't know you were in Credit Academy, my bad. Yeah, if you're in Credit Academy, we have a lawsuit guide. So like if you're being summoned to court, if you're being sued by a debt collector, uh the guide kind of walks you through like what to expect and your options and stuff like that. Just go it's in your portal and also in the Facebook group. What should I do to replace a long-term installment? I don't have one. I have 3 active CCs and self. Um so with a long-term installment, I don't recommend that you get anything that you don't already want because that's a long-term commitment. So if you ain't in the market to get a car, if you don't have student loans, if you don't have a mortgage, I wouldn't just get a long-term installment just for my credit report. Mm-mm. I would just get 2 short-term installments. Until you're ready for a long-term installment, then I wouldn't suggest that you get those. Yeah, you can come back. Of course. We ain't no no. Yeah. No, a Kia, yeah, no. Somebody said, is a Kia soliciting? No, no, no. She's good. She's yeah, she good. You can whatever she's saying, she good. She's on the team. How did they say it was verified? Oh, y'all talking to each other. Let me be quiet because there's too many people. What CC has the best overall travel rewards? Amex Gold. Amex Gold. And it's not even technically a travel card, but like I get more free flights off the Amex Gold than I do the Platinum. City Premier is a good one as well because I do get a lot of free flights with City, but I get more. No card gives me more free flights than Amex Gold, and I have the Sky Miles card. Um I have a few quote unquote travel cards, but the Amex Gold is what gives me the most points towards it. My everyday card is the Amex Gold and the City Premier. So if I'm getting gas, I'm gonna use the City Premier. But if I'm getting food at the grocery store, Ubering or Door Dashing, I'm swiping the Amex Gold. And then if I'm just casually online shopping or just casual shopping, I am going to use. I probably use the Chase my Why is it not coming to my head right now? No, it's not even on there. The Chase I'm having a brain fart. I mean, yeah, the Chase Freedom Preferred, child. My bad. Freedom Preferred. City City has the City you can't really go wrong with any of City cars, but if I had to choose, you said Amex or City? It depends on what's your goal because like if you're a cash back person, then City. But if you're a points person, like I'm a points person. So I prefer to gain points than I would cash back. So I would pick Amex for that reason. But if you cash back, you need to pick either City or Chase. Really City, because City gonna give you the most cash back. No, I live off my credit cards. I don't know why I say blanket statements like that and then like not explain it, but I just mean that all if I don't the only time I would ever pull out my debit card is if I absolutely have to, is if I'm freaking in the middle of I don't know, in the middle of nowhere and they just don't accept credit cards. Nowadays is like everyone accepts credit cards, but if I or let me well, if I need cash, like if I'm trying to get cash for whatever reason, then I'm gonna use my debit card. But that's like the only time that I use my debit card. Or yeah, that's the only time I use my debit card. If I have to. Like I have to be between a rock and a hard place in order to use my debit card because there is no benefits for using your debit card. Everything else, I'm definitely using my credit card. Or obviously, like if it's my mortgage payments, then it can't go on a credit card. It has to come out of a bank account. But I'm assuming you were not referring to that. Are all of my bills on auto pay? Yeah, but only because like child, I'm ADHD, so I would really forget. Yeah, and it's just a good practice. But like my credit cards, They're on auto pay, but they're all set to just at least a minimum payment. Only because like I I pretty much make a payment towards my credit card like every week. Like I don't like to just pay one time on my credit card simply because I don't like to see that amount. I don't like to pay large amounts at once. And then you got to think I'm using my credit card every day for everything. So it's my daily spender. So I'm constantly, making payments towards it. So it's very rare, if ever, that, by the time my due date comes, I haven't already met my minimum payment. But I do have them set up because that looks good. How often do I ask for a credit limit increase? Depend on the credit card, but for my main ones, every 90 days, for like Amex cards, for my Chase cards, every 6 months, CD as well. For my Apple card, I pretty much ask like twice a year, 2 to 3 times a year. I'm sure I'm leaving off some cards, but yeah, my main cards like Amex every 90 days. I have my favorite business card, Amex. Probably the business go. The platinum card that I have the business card. I don't have a personal. Um, the Chase Business Inc. I'm like, what is that called? The Chase Business Inc. I love that card. Yeah. When is the best time to apply for an auto loan if you just started building credit? Well, it's honestly not hard to get a car. That's probably one of the easiest things to get. But it's more like what's more important is like the interest rate that you get approved for. Because like you can really get a car, you can get a car with bad credit. I mean, a car with bad credit, you just gonna pay high interest. So I will wait if you can. Like I don't know if you have the time, but if you can wait at least 90 days after you get a credit card, that would be best. Because then your credit score is going to be higher, and also like your auto score will benefit from that. And also, outside of that, if for anyone who hasn't established credit yet, or like your kids are coming of age and they are about to establish credit, the if you can catch them before they start building credit, always get them a credit card first. So make sure that they have a credit card before they open any loans. The best thing you can do for your credit profile is to have a credit card first, simply because a credit card can stay open forever. Like you can 20, 30 years down the line still be benefiting from this $200 credit card, right? Like I always tell y'all, the most beneficial credit card that I have on my profile is a $200 Capital One card. That's way more beneficial than my $80,000 limit cards, my $120,000. Like that $200 card still does more for my credit profile than any other card that I have, simply because that's the oldest credit card that I have. So when it comes to the credit age, it's based on that. When it comes to my revolving credit age, it's also based on that. So yeah, if you can help it, get a credit card first. Get a credit card first, and then wait 90 days and then get a loan, because that'll also improve all of your installment based scores. So auto scores, your bank card score, and also your mortgage scores. What if it's too late? I mean, if it's too late, it's too late. You can't do nothing about that. You can't go back in time. But I only say that because obviously student loans are typically like the first. Student loans are what a lot of our credit profiles are based off, right? Before mine's closed, like before I paid mine off, I also had opened up a student loan before I did a credit card. So when I paid it off, you can imagine how many points I lost, right? But I of course knew that was coming. I just didn't want the debt at the time. Now when you pay off your student loans, or they get forgiven, or child, well, they were supposed to get forgiven for most of us, but the point is, you still want your credit age based on a revolving trade line over an installment account. What do you recommend for someone struggling with credit age? Stop closing accounts, stop opening new accounts, and allow time to pass. That's the only thing you can do. But what I will say is, if you are within the first 3 years of establishing your credit profile, you child, don't you wasting your time thinking about credit age, because you want to make sure that you have your like. Hold on, let me go back to. I know y'all gonna be like, it's hurting my eyes, child. Close your eyes, because y'all. Okay, so like if you don't at least have these, then two parts of your credit profile shouldn't even be on your mind: your credit age nor your increase. If you don't have at least two credit cards, at least one short-term installment, um Don't worry about your increase. Don't worry about getting increase, or don't worry about your credit age, because it literally doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I know it's bad. Yeah. For the people who just joined, yes, I know the screen is backwards. Child, I don't know how to mirror it, so just screenshot it and flip it in your phone. This wasn't like planned. I just happened to pull it up. So screenshot it and mirror it on your and mirror it on your phone. Screenshot and mirror, or go to YouTube, because on YouTube it is not backwards, and on Instagram it's not backwards either. I don't think that's what they said. What's a trade line? A trade line is just an account that reports on your credit report. A trade line can be revolving, meaning a credit card, or an installment, which is a loan. Is it better to dispute or send a goodwill letter? Two different things. You would only ever send a goodwill letter if you are wanting a company to erase a late payment, but it has to be an open account, so you wouldn't dispute that account. So those are it's just two different things. They are not synonymous. So you wouldn't choose one or the other. It's just they both are beneficial in different situations. It's not backers on YouTube. Okay, yeah. So go to YouTube if it's like hurting. Let me scoot it over. If it's hurting your head, can you pull up the list of credit cards again? But first, do this. Screenshot the quick guide to building credit. I know the people on YouTube who been here the whole time. Like, girl, they keep asking for the same slide. Yeah, just screenshot it and flip it. I know it's backwards. I know it's backwards, guys. I know. I know it's backwards. Oof. Okay. How to keep one credit card if filing bankruptcy. So that's completely dependent on, number one, your bankruptcy attorney, if you have one, and also the judge, because they can make you withdraw all of your accounts. So there's not like that there's no solution for that because they can absolutely require you to close them all. But I wouldn't. I mean, if you file in bankruptcy, child, do away with them and then just reestablish credit. Like, that's really the only thing. Excuse me. How to request a pay to delete? Send a pay to delete letter. Send a pay to delete letter. Do you have a pay to delete letter? Not queued up. I don't. I mean, but of course I have one, but it's not queued up, and it's too much to like go find it right now. Plus, yeah, it's gonna be 1,000 people. It's backwards. It's backwards. Yeah, it's not backwards on YouTube. Not on YouTube. So do 2 secure cards, wait 9 months, close one for I said don't close anything until you have replaced them with mid-tier cards. So when you are before you get a mid-tier card, these still should be open. Don't ever close accounts before you've replaced them with better accounts, unless it's obviously like a loan that's ending. Also, don't pay off short-term installments early. Never. Not if you're establishing credit. Is it open, Laquana? Is it an open account? If so, goodwill adjustment. You have to leave TikTok and come to YouTube. You know what's crazy? Like on YouTube, to me, it is showing backwards, but y'all saying it's not, so I'm not even gonna argue. If it's not, that's great. But it is showing back. Oh, put my bad, my bad. It's hard to. Oh, that's what I did it for, because somebody asked for the credit card list again. Subprime. So if you have bad credit, can't get approved for cards. These are cards. These are options. Don't get no more than 2. If you already passed that and you already have established at least a year of history with a credit card, or you don't have bad credit and you just maybe not have credit at all, then here are starter cards for, like, maybe you just graduated high school, maybe you just never built credit. It's not age specific. Maybe yeah, you just don't have credit, right? And then, so again, no more than 2. No more than 2. And then here are mid-tier cards, which I suggest that you have at least a year of established credit established history with another credit card. So either like a subprime or starter. And yeah, these are the best cards in the world, in my opinion. The no Starter cars, you're not typically gonna get a starter car over $2,500. You may, in some scenarios, get up to like 5,000, but they are not like high limit cards. Like starter cars are not high limit cards. They're literally starter cards. Mid tier cards, these can go up. Yeah, yeah. Pretty much all of these cars can go up to about 40, $50,000 each, right? And also, there's no limit on mid tier cars. So, ooh, child, I gotta be careful with making blanket statements like that because y'all gonna take that and run with it. But like there, you if you do have multiple credit cards, then most of them should be mid tier. Like they shouldn't be starter, they shouldn't be subprime, nor should you have like a plethora of like top tier cards because you just paying annual fees for nothing. Most of the rewards, cashback, and the average everyday person will benefit way more from mid tier cards than they will top tier. So yeah, these are even my, still to this day, these are my favorite cards. Um, I'm gonna do it probably like top 10 of each category because like I'm looking at every time I look at this list, I'm like, dang, I'm missing a lot of my favorite cards, but whatever. So yeah, these can go up to like 40, 50, even 60 like $1,000 in honestly more sometimes. And then top tier cars, which these can they most of them it's like no ceiling to most of them, with the exception of the venture card because that's a trash card which should go on the mid tier list. However, the qualifications to get that card is the synonymous with these top tier cards. Mid tier is not bad. Yeah, no. Somebody no. Don't like no mid tier does not mean bad. Like I said, those are my favorite. Like I prefer majority of those mid tier cards, if not all, over every single one of these cards. So mid tier just means that it's just not a top tier card. And the only thing out after top tier is invitation only. So like it's really nowhere you ain't really going much nowhere else. No, mid, yeah, it sounds when you say mid, it does sound like, yeah, but no, those are the best cards. No, there are more. Like I said, I'm gonna redo the list and put 10. My favorite because this is just my favorites of each list. But I'm gonna do 10 because I can at least name 10 for every tier. And I'm gonna redo them and do 10. Eh, ain't no new cards really came out recent. Ain't no, because chat at this point, cards are just repeating other companies because what else could they offer? No, ain't no new cards that's like, but by the way, the Apple card, because I know every time I show the mid tier, y'all asked about Apple. I should have put Apple card on here. I don't know why I didn't, but Apple card does go on the mid tier list. Do you recommend Truist for business banking? I like them. I do have one of my business accounts with Truist. See, I tell people you should have a large bank, like like a national bank. Like your Chases, your fill in the blank, like big banks, right? But also you should have relationships with credit unions and smaller banks. BBT starting to get up. I mean, BBT used to be considered like a small bank, but I feel like they're entering a territory of a large bank now, especially since they partner with Truist, well, merged with Truist. But like, it's still considered a small bank, but also like a credit union. I also suggest that you have a credit union as well. Do you keep all of your assets in one bank? No, you shouldn't either. Um, Capital One Saver is mid tier. I like that card, and also yeah, I will put it on the mid tier list. That's my favorite Capital One card. That's actually my favorite Capital One card. If my credit is bad, should I just do a bankruptcy? Would that delete everything? No, it would not delete everything. Also, when you say your credit is bad, what makes you feel like your credit is bad? Like what is bad about it, rather? But no, that wouldn't delete everything. The accounts will still remain on your credit report. They'll just close. Yeah, Wells Fargo. I had a brain fart. Yeah, Wells Fargo, Bank of America, U.S. Bank. Yeah, yeah, all of those. Favorite credit union, Navy Federal, USAA. Yeah, it's a lot of credit unions nowadays, though. Um, Navy Federal has the best credit cards. Do you think? No, I don't think Navy Federal has the best credit cards. They have the one of the most competitive rates for loans, but I wouldn't. I wouldn't dare say they have the best credit cards. No. But I like credit. I mean, I like Navy Federal. Yeah, they cool. I'm trying. No, I have Navy. I have a Navy Federal credit card, and I have Navy. Obviously, I have Navy Federal, but I mean, I don't like. It's not even a card that I use. I have like subscriptions on it, so it won't close. But no, it's not the best credit card. What about the flagship? It trumps the whole top tier list. Okay, we looking at the same list. Navy Federal flagship card. What did it give you? Maybe they giving you some child that they ain't giving everybody else. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Yeah, I would put it on mid tier if I'm being real. What's your opinion on Capital One Vent? It's cool. I don't really like that card. I don't like it. That it ain't cool. I don't like that card. I do like the Saver one though. I think that card is an overpriced piece of junk. Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan. I'm not even the smallest fan of the Venture. I don't like either of the Venture series, but if I had to choose, because you know they got like three versions, three variations of the Venture. If I had to choose, is it? I think I would just choose the regular Venture, but it may be the Venture. I don't know. I don't like them though. They cool. I know I am up late. I'm finna get off in a minute. Yeah. The high see stop because then you're gonna get me talking about Navy Federal. It's gonna sound like I hate them. I don't hate Navy Federal cars, and also I also don't consider that sounds elitist. Let me not say that. Well, you know what? F it, because it's just the truth. A $20,000 credit card limit is not that's not a high limit, right? And I'm only saying that because I feel like a lot of people think that Navy Federal is the best bank because their average like limit, right? They'll approve pretty much anyone for a $20,000 limit. And to me, a limit will never make a credit card the best card, number one. Certainly not a $20,000 limit. But two, their reward program sucks to me. Like I don't like their reward program. A top tier card is going to have both a high limit and also a great reward program. So like outside of the credit limit, you need to also be benefiting from the card in other ways, whether that's cash back, points. I'm a points girl, so like the Amex Platinum or even the Chase Sapphire Reserve, right? You're gonna get uh, I don't even child let me be careful how I word certain things. But no, that's you Navy Federal has a lot of people like confused. Like a lot of people feel like no other bank gives you $20,000 limits, and it's just like it's not hard to get a $20,000 limit. Um, especially if you are looking at the right cards, right? Don't have Navy Federal make y'all think that that's the only bank that gives $20,000 limit. No, it's like all of there's not one card on this list that can't equal 20,000 or greater, and even on the mid tier list, like let's not sleep on the mid tier list because all of these cards can surpass 20,000. But I like Navy Federal again. I don't want to like do like I like and number to me, they have the most competitive interest rates for loans. Like if I'm gonna get a car or if I'm gonna get a home, I'm always going to apply for Navy Federal just to see what their rate is. Like I'm always going to consider them anytime I'm applying for a loan. So like they're beneficial. However, like I wouldn't their credit cards are not the best in the world. No, they're not a starter card. Now you guessing it. They're certainly mid. And some will consider it top tier, but like I guess their flagship card technically would be considered a top tier card. But mm, yeah. What about their Amex card? So this is not even just for Navy Federal. Me personally, I don't like co-branded American Express cards. And like Credit One has an American Express card, right? So there are banks that will purchase the rights to run on the American Express network and promote an American Express card, but it's not considered a real American. Well, I want to be careful how I word this. So technically, it is on the American Express network. However, you are not considered an American Express customer, meaning you are not getting the benefits for being an American Express customers, like their award winning reward program, their customer service, and just things of that nature, right? Um, they're just on the network. They're literally just on the network, and that's it. I advise to just get an American Express card. So if you qualify for one of those, you qualify for an American Express card. So just get that. Does your online course tell you the order to send the letters? Yeah, and it's not a course. So I want to make that clear. It's not a course. Oh, move it over. Okay. What time is it? Oh, I said I was gonna get off at 12. 12 o'clock came by fast. Very fast. I'm gonna try to come back live tomorrow because what I'm doing tomorrow? Sports. So like it'll be in the evening. It'll be in the evening. What was the slide before this? Starter cards. And then before that was Subprime. Right, like Cricket with AT&T, like Metro with T-Mobile, like they're on the network. So yeah, that's how it is with credit cards that will utilize the American Express branding and network, but still isn't under American Express. How do you know if it's a real American Express card? The easiest way is like if it's not on American Express's website, then yeah, that's it. If you can't log into the American Express app, then it's just on the network. American Express is overhyped. I feel you. Um, do you have to pay for letters if you're in Credit Academy? No, that everything is so there's one price for Credit Academy. It's just the monthly price, and you don't everything else is included. See, that's what I didn't want. Like truly, diva with favor. Uh, I thought I was doing good. With you are that is good. Please do not allow anything that I said to make you feel like a $20,000 credit card isn't still good. Like, come on now. No, that's not what I was saying at all. What I was trying to because let me yeah, no, that's still good. And don't let nobody make you think that it's not. Even me. Even me. Y'all gotta look, y'all gotta keep in mind. My first credit card was 2000. 2000. I wish my first credit card was $200, and it was a subprime card. So nothing that I ever say about credit. And number one, my credit score. I'm coming from 412, 413, 423. If you was in a Facebook group, you pretty much follow my entire journey up to 800 plus, without trade lines, without doing anything extra, without anything, like just from the ground up, right? So anything that I say about credit is never coming from a place of looking, sitting high and looking down ever, because the hell no. However, I do like to show the other side of it because I feel like a lot of us, we don't be knowing our options. We don't be knowing what's available. We don't be knowing what's out there because we don't know. We may not know people who experience the other side of having excellent credit and just the options, right? So like never ever take, because I don't even like elitist type of, like, nah, that's not me at all. So yes, your $25,000 car is amazing. It's just not the only card that's gonna offer you that. That was the point. But no, that's period. That's amazing. No, I still no. All of my credit cards are not above 25K. I still have a Capital One card that's $200. So again, yeah, no, because they're. I don't even have to get in that whole spiel again. But yeah, that was just for the person. Can we see top tier again? Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah, I'm about to get off in a minute because I was supposed to eat my taco and I still want my taco. And I actually just want to take a bubble bath and watch the last episode of the Wendy documentary. Have y'all seen all of them? Credit Academy. Yeah, let me not answer. Well, whatever. Credit. So I don't feel like going into that right now about what's coming with Credit Academy. But yeah, it's super exciting. Well, I'll just say we're getting an app next month. So we'll have a dedicated, like a real dedicated space, and it's not reliant on any one social media network because Facebook is a hater. So we ain't gotta rely on them no more. We're gonna have our own space, and it's gonna be Facebook times 1,000. Do we have to donate to get you to answer a question? No, I don't. You never have to donate to me. I don't. It donations make me uncomfortable if I'm being real. I know you don't gotta don't donate. Rather, just answer the questions. But I'm on 3 live, so sometimes I miss questions, but it's not intentional. Yes, Credit Academy. So with Credit Academy, sometimes I'll do live Q&As with and only answer Credit Academy questions, which will increase times 1,000, especially when we get the app. So that you're not like, I'm not on 3 different lives. I'm just completely looking at Credit Academy. All right. I am about to get off her. Show starter one more time before you get off. I'll just show all on real quick. So just screenshot them. I'm gonna show them for like 10 seconds and then just, yeah, because I know X. This starter. I know it's back. I know it's backwards. Just screenshot it and flip it. Next time I come on here, I'm gonna have it flipped for y'all. And then, yeah, we all gonna be on the same page. That's mid tier. That's top tier. Road to 750.net or any link in my bio to sign up for Credit Academy. No, there's no contract. Oh. No, this presentation was only about credit cards, which is why. Yeah. Anyways, I'm about to go watch my Wendy or whatever. Key, I do need to. I don't know if you messaged me back, but I'm sure you did. But yeah, I'm gonna talk to you guys later. I'm gonna call y'all back tomorrow, hopefully. Yeah. So if you asked a question and I didn't answer it, it was not personal. I promise. I'm on 3 lives, so I just missed it. Charge it to my head, not my heart. Are you from Memphis? No, I'm from St. Louis. St. Louis, Missouri. So yeah, when are you going to start the credit basics? I should. So I gotta wait. So it won't be this week. It could possibly be next week, but I have to do it. We're doing a bankruptcy webinar in Credit Academy on the 7th, so I can't do it this week. I have all the material though, so I low key should just create. I'm gonna see actually, because you know what, I don't feel like getting into that. But yeah, I am going to call y'all back tomorrow. Yeah, if you have any existing questions, just you can wait until tomorrow. If you want to replay the full live, it's on YouTube. It'll be on Instagram. Want to join Credit Academy? Link in bio. All of that. Yeah, I'll talk to y'all later. Bye. Good night.